Before I get into the content of this video, I want to explain this new channel. Most of the videos I'm uploading now to this new channel were previously on the Know Your Enemy channel, which I deleted a few months ago. It's going to take me a few months to upload them all. One of the reasons I removed the old channel is because I was starting to feel weird about being a content creator. I never wanted to be monetized, and I wasn't, and I never will be. But I did want to think that people like my videos, so I was tracking sub count, likes, and comments, and that was not good for my spiritual life. So I'm leaving comments turned off on the videos on this new channel. But the main reason I deleted the old channel was because of the hype about fining and suing people for spreading what they deem false information online, and the use of tech like Gideon AI to root out the people they say are spreading bad information. But I recently reached the point of not caring, not adjusting my thoughts or behaviors to this world, and I'm going to continue to share my research and opinion and let the chips fall where they may. I have a right to think logically and have an opinion, even if I'm not correct. Besides, no matter what we do, we will not be able to avoid harassment and persecution by the elites or even our neighbors and family. We are in the time of wearing down of the saints, of those who follow the Most High, and they will also be changing times and laws. Luke chapter 17, Jesus says, if you cling to your life, you'll lose it, and if you let your life go, you'll save it. Regarding these ridiculous laws and mandates, such as if you don't wear a mask during a fake pandemic, or you fail to miraculously somehow maintain a 6-foot distance from others while everyone is constantly moving, then you're endangering others and you're a bad person, not a good member of the community. Yet someone can get busted transporting $250 million worth of meth and get out on a $10,000 bail because the powers want that pharmacia disseminated into society and are likely the ones facilitating it in the first place. That has certainly been the case historically. Remember the Opium Wars. There's literally a vaguely worded law in the UK against being antisocial. A friend said that he'd be on their radar because he chooses to be as antisocial as possible and not willingly invite demons into his own personal life. And I agree with that sentiment. This is the world we live in now, and it will not change until Jesus returns. Now, regarding Legion, which is the topic of this video and basically related to what I just said. In other videos, I've said that I believe schizophrenia, DID, and possibly bipolar disorder, all of those are actually demonic oppression. I came to that conclusion after studying the history of people who've been diagnosed with these disorders because many of them have been into the occult, drugs, victims of mind control, etc. So they are broken puppets. Club members such as musicians, actors, and actresses, and royalty, which I covered in my video titled Possessed Royalty. I listed many royals in that video, but a few examples are Charles VI of France, who had a severe psychiatric episodes, including periods where he believed he was made of glass. Oftentimes in media and literature, you do see people with split personalities represented alongside shattered glass symbolism. It's my observation that symbolism used in media to represent the spirit realm is never coincidental. I assume that's because the people involved in producing the media are familiar with the spirit realm and the methods used to invoke that realm, which are witchcraft methods. King George III of Great Britain was historically referred to as the Mad King, suffering from severe recurring mental illness. His symptoms including incoherent speech, violence, mania, often attributed to bipolar disorder. Caligula, the Roman emperor, was known for extreme sadistic and erratic behavior. A psychiatrist who worked with schizophrenic patients also came to this conclusion that schizophrenia was demonic oppression. He states that hallucinations are always random and do not follow any pattern. In other words, they could be good or bad. But the voices the schizophrenic patients hear were always accusing, so not random. He concluded that the voices the patients heard were not hallucinations, but the voices of demons. He also personally experienced some supernatural occurrences, which he attributes to spiritual beings while working with patients. I believe the club is well aware of the fact that schizophrenia is demonic oppression, along with DID and possibly bipolar disorder. Some of these club members even understand that the condition is created in victims, and some of them create those conditions in the victims. The club frequently presents the concept of demonic association with mental illness through media, although they veil it as fiction. One recent example is the show Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is a series about a hacker named Elliot, whose character is supposedly schizophrenic and DID. He has trauma because of parental abuse, mostly done by his father, who is referred to as Mr. Robot. His father's dead, but Elliot still sees and communicates with him. The show eventually reveals that Mr. Robot is actually one of Elliot's alternate personalities who encourages him in vigilante hacking endeavors. So, Mr. Robot is a demon. Because of Elliot's demonic possession, he has magical, almost supernatural abilities to bend reality with his genius hacking skills. Another example of this same pattern of childhood trauma and supernatural abilities would be Eleven from Stranger Things. Her abilities included telekinesis, ESP, levitation, portal manipulation, and a deep connection to the Upside Down, which is the spirit realm. Her powers were developed through unethical experiments at the secret government lab. Her powers are closely tied to her mental and emotional state. Another media example I came across recently is the Marvel comic book character Legion. This one should be really obvious. They literally named the character for the legion of demons referred to in the Bible in the book of Mark. Legion is a fictional character appearing in Marvel Comics starting around 1985. He's typically a villain or supporting character in stories featuring the X-Men. He's a mutant anti-hero who has DID, in which each of his identities exhibits different mutant abilities or powers. His supernatural abilities include psychic manipulation, reality warping, shape-shifting, levitation, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, and dimensional travel. So that sounds a lot like 11 in Stranger Things. Interestingly, this Legion mutant story also involves creating the Age of the Apocalypse timeline, similar to the end of the world theme in Mr. Robot and Stranger Things. It also involves a place of interdimensional limbo called the Other Place, a dreamlike state where Legion is able to manipulate reality. Legion's mind is again fragmented into many alters, including one called Lord Trauma. Legion was also made into a TV series, Legion, which aired from 2017 to 2019. The reason I'm showing this painting of Charles is because I think he is a puppet. Notice there's this monarch butterfly on his left shoulder. I think they're cluing us to the fact that he's a demonic puppet. I also think this is blood. I think this is painted in blood. So I'm going to read the verse in Mark regarding Jesus casting a legion of demons out of a man. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain, for he had been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. So, see, he had supernatural abilities just like these characters that I'm talking about. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many," and begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs, allow us to go into them." He gave them permission, and the impure spirits came out and went into the pigs. The herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. Those tending the pigs ran off and reported this in the town and the countryside, and the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw a man who had been possessed by the legion of demons, sitting there dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people what had happened to the demon-possessed man, and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. I wonder why they wanted Jesus to leave. Were they also having demons of their own? As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed begged to go with him. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go home to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." Thanks for listening.